Welcome to Magic Arcanum. I'm Ryan Gomez. Behind the scenes is Nicole Burdick, and we're so glad you're here because it's story time. Now, originally, I'd planned to start this video with a different intro that went like this. Welcome to Magic Arcanum. I'm Ryan Gomez. Behind the scenes is Nicole Burdick and some of my other friends. We got some extra special stuff in store for you today because we're tearing into a box of Star Wars Unlimited's Secrets of Power. It's the newest set. All of this courtesy of Fantasy Flight Games. We're going to show you today a little bit about how Twin Suns works and see some of the awesome stuff in this exciting new set. Let's get right to it. So yeah, the idea was I was going to show off all of the cool stuff in Secrets of Power while playing with it. And that ended up being a lot harder than I anticipated. So instead, I'm just going to use all of that footage as like B-roll as I explain how that night went. Okay? Okay. First off, thanks again to Fantasy Flight Games for sending me a galactic ton of cards and accessories for Secrets of Power. This set adds several new mechanics and 18 new leaders to the game, and I thought it would be fun to explore those through an Arcanum Brew format we like to call Mustache Draft Twin Suns. So let's talk about how that works. I had 4 friends join me for a multiplayer game, so we each took 4 booster packs from Secrets of Power and carefully opened them to only remove the leader card they each contained, and then put all of those leaders in the middle of the table. From this visible pool of leaders, I drafted the first one. It was my house. And then we went around the table clockwise with each person taking a single leader. Then it reversed. So the last person to pick, who was my brother Keith, got his second pick back to back. And then it snaked back around to me, at which point it ping-ponged back again. This means we each wound up with 4 leaders total and would need to use 2 of them to make our Twin Suns deck. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. You see, in Star Wars Unlimited, your deck usually needs 1 leader card and 1 base card. Together, these act like a commander from Magic and establish your deck's colors and overall strategy. But in Twin Suns, you still get your base, but you also get 2 leaders, which means you get to access more colors, and some leaders interact with each other in powerful ways, opening all sorts of fun possibilities. So we draft leaders, then we draft cards from the 4 booster packs, just like any other draft. Pick 1 card to keep, pass the pack to your neighbor, alternating left, right, until all of the cards are picked. Then you can add any of the 4 differently colored bases as you start to work on your actual deck. We decided on 40 card decks, which is exactly half of the standard Twin Suns requirement of 80, but we did allow duplicates rather than restrict it to pure singleton. And we did draft 4 packs rather than 3, just to make the math work a little easier and kind of juice up everyone's deck just a bit more, and it worked out great.
What are you trying to do?
So I've got Mon Mothma and the Entertainment District, so I stocked up on officials. So I'm going to be playing just like dudes in robes nonstop going to war, and then also C-3PO's here.
Let's jump over here. Josh, who do you got?
I've got Deidre Miro and Sly Moore, and I'm going to be hoping to make some spooky spies for spooky Halloween season.
Nice.
I got some Sly Moore and a little Governor Price. I'm going to be making some spies, readying them up, and hitting face.
We got Deirdre Miro and Colonel E. Lauren. We're going to play a lot of little units and make them attack everyone all the time.
The cool thing about this format is you get a focused look at the new cards and new mechanics from the set, and I definitely learned some secrets from Secrets of Power, which I will share with you now. My first picked leader was Leia Organa of A Secret Bloodline. She's blue and white, or vigilance and heroic in game terms, and she has an activated ability that features Disclose, one of the new mechanics found here in Secrets of Power. Basically, I can pay a resource and reveal a card from my hand to put an experience counter on a unit already in play, provided it does not share any aspects with the disclosed card. Putting that in Magic terms for everybody, I can pay 1 and reveal a card to give a +1/+1 counter to a creature that's a different color, once per turn. Now, thanks to the unique deck building rules of Twin Suns, I knew that I would have access to more colors than usual. So I thought this ability would be easier to enable and thus be quite powerful. My second leader was Sabe, who can look at the top 2 cards of an opponent's deck and make them discard one of those cards, potentially robbing them of a good draw. But I mostly picked her because I wanted a yellow leader to pair with my blue one, and the only other option I had was C-3PO, who is cool, but felt a little too low impact for a multiplayer format like Twin Suns. As we entered the actual draft portion, I found myself getting some really good green cards like Mina Bonteri, Mon Mothma, and Nubian Starskiff, all of which offered the ability to restore, which heals my base. And that can be crucial in a format that is decided by who has the most health remaining when the game ends. Most of my offense came from yellow cards like Bravo Squadron Fighter, A-Wing, and Junior Senator, but blue supplied some heavy hitters too, with Bo-Katan and Jade Squadron Patrol. Okay, so I won't bore you with the play-by-play. I'll just share 3 secrets from the Secrets of Power Mustache Draft Twin Suns game of 2025. Secret number 1, plot cards are quite good because you have 2 leaders, and if they deploy on different turns, that's 2 chances to reveal plots. Ryan, what does that mean? I don't even... Fear not, young Padawan, I shall explain. Cards with the new plot mechanic can be played from your resource row when you deploy your leader. Okay? They tend to cost a bit more, but make up for it in their flexibility and the fact that they don't cost you a card because they replace themselves with the top card off of your deck, so you're not falling behind, which is a very valuable thing when you're trying to fight a multiplayer war.
Eric, were you about to plot something?
Yeah, I'm going to deploy Colonel Uloran.
Yeah.
And using the new feature of this set, I'm going to spend 5 to plot out FN troopers who have a 1 plate effect.
Ooh.
So I got to replace the card I plotted with. I get to give an experience token to a friendly unit. Of course, I'm going to give that to my leader to make them a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger.
Dang.
What an excellent plot.
My deck was pretty light on plots. I didn't value them very highly during the draft, and I think that was a mistake. The ability to hide something in your resources and spring it out in the same action as deploying your leader can make for some dramatic tempo shifts and is something I should have respected more. Secret number 2, spies are quite good. In fact, they can win you the game outright.
So Matt, you won.
I did.
To what do you owe your victory?
Spies on spies on spies at plus Hondo Inaka.
Spies. Josh, do you agree with that assessment?
It worked. It worked. Spies on spies.
Do you not like the spies?
Spies are fine.
Okay.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. Our game was won by Matt, and the table agreed it was mainly thanks to his huge army of spy tokens. They might not look like much as O2 colorless officials with Raid 2, but they do add up, and when they play off your leader, oh boy, can you do some damage. If you like to go wide with token strategies in other games, be on the lookout for cards that make spies in Secrets of Power. You won't be disappointed. And hey, guess what? My deck only had 1 card that made spies, and I lost. So maybe that should tell us something. So if I wasn't plotting and I wasn't spying, what was I doing? Mostly disclosing, since that's what my leader wanted to do, and I had a few other cards that got bonuses from that mechanic as well. My plan was to tank damage and play for the long game. Remember, I had lots of Restore, and I supported that with cards like Relief Request, Nala Se, and Naboo Security Force, which either healed my units or created sentinels to slow down my opponents. Other cards that were valuable to my strategy included Grassroots Resistance, which could remove a unit and heal my base in a very lightning helix, oh my god, sort of way, and Nimble Prowess, an upgrade card that boosted the stats on my unit while exhausting, or tapping, an opposing one. Now, Twin Suns ends not when all but one player is eliminated. Instead, you play until one player is dead, then you finish the turn you're on, and whoever has the most health remaining on their base is crowned winner. This means nobody has to sit out for long, and nobody gets ganged up on early in the game either, because you don't want to knock somebody out unless you're confident you'll still have the most health left when the dust settles. Add in the sudden arrival of plot cards and unexpected healing from something like a bunch of Ewoks, and the last turn of the game is often full of big surprises and big laughs.
I'm gonna blast.
I guess that leaves me with secret number 3. The flexible deck will win out over the more rigid ones. Table politics are huge in this format. You want to appear weak until it is time to strike. Use those plot cards, quietly build up an army of spies, and be grateful to the player who exposes too much of their own plans through careless disclosures. And if all that fails, you're still sitting down with your friends and enjoying your trip to a galaxy far, far away. And I can't think of a better way to enjoy Secrets of Power than that. Thank you to Josh, Matt, Eric, and Keith for helping me unpack the secrets of this awesome set. And thanks again to Fantasy Flight Games for supplying everything we needed to make it possible. Secrets of Power is out now, so check your favorite local game store for boosters, spotlight decks, playmats, deck boxes, and more. Then make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the great stories you'll only find here on Magic Arcanum. We'll see ya!